I was about 26 and just an opportunity came along. So I went down to Wales and did a deal with British Steel to take all their waste plastic and then figured out a way to do something with it.
In 1985, when the company first founded, back then the level of protection around construction sites and work zones was probably minimal.
We started off doing cones and barriers, and then probably within 10 years or maybe 15 we moved into composites. So that was a big step, and that's now our biggest growth area.
The industry's changed a lot since the very first cones were made to where we are now in terms of barriers, trench covers, etc. The original trench covers were made from wood. They don't last, they break. If they get wet, they break down, a safety issue.
We deal with some very, very big end users, but the ideas come from the guys who are actually digging the trenches. And that's where some of our competitors have failed. They engage the senior managers in these big utilities who've gone, yeah, that's a great idea, we'll buy them. And then it gets delivered to site, and literally the guys who do the day-to-day work have gone, take it away, we're not using it. The product range we do can be seen as a necessary evil. We live in a different world when it comes to health and safety and disability awareness.
The general rule of thumb is if you can be safer, if you can be more efficient, you can actually save money at the same time.
The solutions we provide not only keep people safe, but actually, from a contractor's perspective, are a more efficient way of completing their work, which actually saves them money in the longer term, plus reduces the liability, which in this day and age is a huge aspect. If you can imagine digging trenches in the middle of Manhattan with millions of people walking past every minute, that's the frightening bit when you see, JCBs operating, people just walking along, paying no attention to what they're doing. Unless you understand the guys who are digging trenches and what their day-to-day life looks like, you can't develop products to help them. And they're quite strong characters, put it that way.
Steel plates are heavy, difficult to move, which was the natural replacement for them. So we've come up with a design of products and family of products over time that's lightweight, easy to manoeuvre, safer than the wood and the metal items as well from it, to just drive industry forward. And that's one of the most unique areas for Oxford Plastics.
There were lots of different ideas that were tried. People did it with plywood and covered it with fiberglass. Then there were just pure fiberglass ones, and we just didn't feel that they'd done that good a job at it. So we felt that if we really worked on the design and optimise, materials and process, that we'd come up with a better product, which we did. We just like to be better at doing it. We design, we really take a lot of care over design work. There's a lot of structural engineering work that goes on, there's a lot of prototype work that's going on, a lot of testing work goes on. There's a lot of different materials we look at. We're looking to try and spend more on research and development. Sometimes it's difficult to find enough avenues to spend it on, but I think it's essential. You can't make a significant progress in your field unless you're doing development work.
The Oxford plate is something that I've started using in Washington, D.C. in lieu of steel plates. I don't have to go on and tell you about the different problems that we have utilizing steel plates, from safety issues to traffic issues to DOT requirements. This solves almost every one of my problems. Safety is always number one, and to me these are much safer than steel plates. The second thing that I love about it, maybe it comes from my operations mind, is the production. I gain anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes a day more production because I'm not having to use my excavator or boom truck to lift the steel plates and put them in place.
Without new innovation, a company like ours would struggle, because then you would end up in a commoditized market, and that's a difficult environment to be in.
We'll combine technologies. There's lots of us here that have come from different industries, or even different qualified parts of engineering or science or technology backgrounds.
All of the machines that we have in our main factory are unique. Each machine, each iteration of a machine is an improvement on the previous one, and they are all hybrids. So nobody else can do exactly what we do in the way that we do it. And that's all come or stemmed from Chris's intellect and his determination to overcome problems.
So we'll look at ground protection items, whether that be a trench cover or access mat, into various sectors, which could be events, streetworks, utilities, the hire industry, construction and civil items. They always have a family of products that are in that. We'd also do barriers that surround and protect a hole or a device in line with all required legislation wherever it may be in the world. We also do signage, fencing, ballast weights. There's a real breadth of products we do. And then again, back to the real basics, we'll make a road code.
If you want a sustainable manufacturing policy to grow a company and to continue to grow it, what you need is families of parts. You need derivatives, you need parts that need other parts, and then you go and make those parts. That's the way to grow your success. Try different materials and actually pull the whole supply chain in-house.
If you do something right, then obviously you do tend to expand. People tend to prefer to work for a company that's growing because that gives them opportunities to develop themselves personally. There's a really good team that are looking for opportunities and presenting the new products to people, and that's what I see as the essence of the business. I'm always amazed when you give people a little bit of freedom, a little bit of opportunities, they just grow into it. It's a real pleasure to watch, actually.